they perpetuate that slowly in the society that we live in, because now we take on, because we've been oppressed and conquered, we take on the mindset and the ways and the thinking and the mentality of our oppressor and our conqueror. You know, so now we want to do all kinds of things with each other. You know, the men want to fuck the men, the women want to fuck the women, and it's okay because it's free. You can make the choice. You can do and be who you want and what you want. And I mean, you don't find ants leaving. You know, you see how ants, I'm sure we've all seen nature shows where they show how the ants work together. The ants will sacrifice their life to make a water bridge so the other ones can climb over their backs. You don't see an ant leaving his people, leaving his little ant colony, going trying to be a damn bumblebee. You know what I'm saying? So why is it that we, as Africans, the mothers and fathers of civilization, of science, of language, of art, of music, of the masters of any and everything that matters, we're the master and the originators of it. We want to go and be like some people who have stolen it from you, who have stolen your birthright from you. You know, we wanna go and be like them. We wanna straighten our hair. You know, the girls wanna have perms, and the brothers, they wanna have perms and look like pimps, and you know, they wanna emulate their opposite. You know, and you need to study about what opposites are. You know, we don't study nothing. We take what the slave master tell us, and we internalize it. And we use it, you know. We function off of it. We build our lives around it. We accommodate whatever it is they say to us. You know, we build our lives around Christianity. You know, we build our lives around, we're surrounded. You know, the days of the week is named after white people, Nordic gods, and all kind of paganism, and, you know, they call us savages and sacrilegious and satanic and all this old stuff, and you know, we're savages and we're uncivilized, and you know, you talk about and people talk about Western civilization. What exactly is that? You know, the United States is the West, but the civilization that was here was the damn Indians. They was here first. You know, we was here with the Indians showing them how to do some things. Then here come the Europeans over here, and now it's Western civilization. You mean Western barbarism? Because the damn sure ain't civilized. Anytime you have policemen and people just shooting people on the street and snatching you up and shoving plunges up your ass, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what kind of civilization is that? You have the brothers, you know, just the same shit they did to the Indians. You know, you seen all the cowboy movies, Clint Eastwood, and they ride into town and their horses got guns and whiskey, and they want to trade with the Indians. How? We come in peace. You know, they give the Indians some damn alcohol and some guns. And you look at the Indian community now. Most of them alcoholics, living on little backyards that they call reservations. You know, I mean, how would you feel if somebody came to your crib and kicked you out of your backyard and told you you can live in this little space right here? You know, this is for you. I'm taking the house. I mean, that's what they did to them, brother. I mean, not just them, not to mention what they did to the African continent and the African people. But now you look at the Indians, you know, a lot of us probably ain't never even seen a damn Indian in person. You know, and all over Southeast and all over the world, all over the United States. You know, Anacostia, D.C., that's an Indian word where the Indians were stomping at first. You know, it's wild. In the States I'm a social worker. So I work with the youth, and I work with different organizations. Most of the organizations that I work with was some kind of Catholic-based organization, you know, some kind of Catholic-based organization. I ain't gonna mention no names, but, you know, they know who they are. You know, they was working with the youth, man. I mean, I worked in places in New York where they had the kids, they drug the kids up 3 times a day with tranquilizers that would knock down an elephant, man. They giving little kids, you know, Thorazine and Prozac and all these drugs. You know, it's drugs. They doping these kids up, turning them into drug addicts, trying to tell you that they need them because of their behavior. And they got brothers and sisters agreeing with that shit. That you take these pills and put them into your body and your system, and they're supposed to do some good for you. Yeah, they make your ass high and docile so you can't be violent, but they don't correct no problem. It's just a band-aid. You know, it's a band-aid. It don't do shit. It might, you know, make them so sluggish and slow to the point where they can't cuss you out or act crazy or do anything physical. But that's not the, you know, those types of things ain't the answer. Those things, I was working. They was, you know, if the kids would get out of hand and get, you know, what they call violent or frustrated or whatever, they would tackle them down. Call the nurses would run over with a damn hypodermic needle and stick the kids in the ass with some cocktail of drugs and knock them out and take them to this room and put them on this mattress in this padded room and let them sleep it off. And that's what these kids' life was like. You know, and then, you know, you work in other organizations where you work with inner city kids that have been victims of white supremacy, basically. You know, their parents have fallen into the trap of drugs, of jail, of just not knowing who and what they are, you know, not having a mental base of anything. Then they have these children, and the children come into the world angry because the parents are angry. So that energy that's created by the parents in their situation gets bred into the kids, you know, genes, into their psychology and their spiritual, their centers and everything. So you work with these kids, and, you know, they've been living a life out on the street that most of the people who are in these organizations who so-called there to help them can't even imagine living and going through some of the shit that the youth go through. You know, but yet, because they have a paper on the wall that says they're a master in psychology or white supremacy, that they have this condescending attitude that they're helping the youth. And, you know, some of them are our brothers and sisters, so-called brothers and sisters. I only call them that because they, you know, they were blessed with melanin, but now that melanin has been turned against them, and they use it for the white boys. You know, they look at the youth as if the youth are wrong. You know, they look at the youth, and they won't say this. They'll, you know, they have all these things written, you know, pledges and unconditional love, credos and all kinds of shit, and, you know, but yet when you deal with them, when you get in there, when you get in these organizations and you see how these people deal with these youth, some of the people, man, you know, you got these young people. You know, I was working with this sister, you know, at this, so she was the boss, and she ran our department, and we were supposed to help homeless kids, pregnant mothers who had nowhere to go, youth who needed their GED, who couldn't function in high school, you know, drug addicted youth, and we had all of these symptoms roaming around in the organization. But the people who was working with them, because they weren't grounded in history and what's real, you know, you had people, most of the people in there